The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
A Jets rookie is turning heads during the Jets spring practices. Will it translate to the field when the games actually count? We'll talk about that and much more with Robby Sabo from JetX. It's the Jake Asman Show, live on a Tuesday. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show presented by PrizePicks. It is the final day of June. Happy birthday to my mom. I want to let everyone know that if you are not a Patreon member, you definitely should join because we're going to have information very, very soon about how to secure your spot for the Jets-Dolphins game on October 25th. We have about 70 tickets available. It will be first come, first serve to the Patreon folks, and then whatever we have left, we'll open up to the general public. But if you want to secure your spot, go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Get in that Discord, and you'll have a chance to get all the info that you need. Plus, when you sign up for the year, you'll save 15% and get 10 raffle tickets automatically applied to our upcoming weekly Asmaniac raffle, which is typically every Saturday on the show. Big shout out to Derek the Cop, Kelly Maria, and Mike Cantina, who signed up for the year for being our most recent Patreon members. By the way, make sure you join by the end of today because we will update the list of names for the intro that always plays before the show for all the Patreon members who support us there. With that, let's say hello right now to a guy we will see in person at the first ever Gangrene Beach Club on July 11th. No, it's not his co-host Wayne Corbett. It's Robby Sabo who joins us now in his weekly Tuesday spot. Mr. Sabo, I know you and Wayne spoke off air about the Speedos you guys are going to be rocking on July 11th. How we doing?
You know, some people need reassuring at times, you know, about themselves wearing Speedos. And, you know, I think I talked them into it.
It's going to be a wild day. Let me tell you. It is going to be a wild day. Get your tickets, people. gangrenebeachclub.com. A couple things I want to get into with you. First things first, shout out to the Knicks for bringing Landry Shamet back. Had to get that off my chest. That's big. We'll see what they could do with Mitch if he's a goner, or they could finagle a way to keep him. We'll see.
Finagle.
There could be a way to keep him if Towns apparently takes a little
just
less.
Love that you use the word finagle. That's all. It has nothing to do with the Knicks.
Well, I'm just happy Shamet's back. I know you're a big Knicks guy, so I had to at least mention that because that broke during my second show yesterday.
Yeah, Shamet, he's the ultimate team guy. And when he gets in there, he's nonstop. He's 100%. He's Rudy. You know, when you're at practice, you love those guys as your teammate if you're a coach, and you also hate them because they're gnats. They're annoying sons of bitches, but they're so valuable for the whole team.
Now to the Jets. This is from Rich Cimini in our most recent Jets Collective podcast. I'm going to play it, and I want you to react because you could verify whether or not you agree or disagree with Rich's take on Omar Cooper Jr.
Cooper Jr., really impressive. You know, got a lot of quality reps. He's a good route runner, and we haven't even seen what he can do yet with the ball in his hands. And by that, I mean with pads on, because that's supposedly his strength, you know, the run after the catch ability. So I'm excited to see that in training camp.
So your thoughts on what you saw from the rookie wide receiver that the Jets traded back into the first round for, Omar Cooper Jr., is what Rich saying there something that you agree with?
Wholeheartedly. And, it's the new modern NFL. You got to play all three spots, slot, Z, X. There's so many condensed formations, so many tight splits. So you have to. But at the same time, there were a lot of underneath routes with Omar. And, it might not hit you, smack you in the face at OTAs. It might not even smack you in the face during August. But the fact that he is firmly entrenched with the group he currently is this early is the really positive sign here. I mean, to see a rookie, first round or not, late first round receiver, very difficult transitioning from college to the pros, to read defenses, read coverages, pick up the little nuances of the playbook and the scheme and the checks and all that stuff, the alerts, and a little easier with this offense as opposed to maybe a RPO laden offense, or Rodgers, which RPO alert all day at the line. But it shows you that he is really smart, and they trust him already. And I think, beyond flashing, beyond making plays, that is the most important thing. And he's entrenched, man. And I think that speaks volumes.
Well, it's interesting because everything you heard about Omar Cooper Jr. was that he is a excellent route runner. I remember vividly hearing Fernando Mendoza talk about Omar Cooper Jr. during one of his media availabilities in the college football playoff, or it might have even been at the combine. And everything you've heard about Omar Cooper Jr. and just what we saw on his college tape, he's a great yak guy. And to Rich's point, you don't really get to use that skill set in spring practices. Once the pads come on, once it gets real, I'm excited to see what he could do. I feel like if we go into the Jet season and at the end of it, we feel like Omar Cooper Jr. is the perfect number 2 to Garrett Wilson, that's a win for the 30th pick in the NFL draft.
Agreed. And I think another nuance about him, he's going to be a hidden yardage guy. Whereas Garrett Wilson, he's great in space, but sometimes he looks for the home run far too often. He could get 5 here, but he only gets 2 because he looks for that 80-yarder where he's trying to make someone miss and he hesitates and he doesn't fall forward and get that extra, 2 to 3 yards. Cooper, I think, is the opposite. He's going to be that hidden yardage guy where, Jets fans have nightmares with the Pats. A lot of those receivers, they weren't flashy. Wes Welker, Edelman, they weren't flashy. They didn't do dance moves. They got the job done. They got those hidden yards. Wayne Corbett, for him, we'll see him in AC. He was that type of guy too. So it's a really nice compliment to Garrett Wilson. A.D. Mitchell, I don't know. Yak Rack, I don't know what he is in that area yet. He's more of the vertical threat, I think, right now in this offense. So that's kind of how it's working together. Garrett possession, AD vertical, Omar, slot underneath, smart route runner, find the soft spots, and hidden yardage, which is going to be really key.
Well, the question with the Jet offense, I think, is just how quickly do they get Cooper and Sadiq involved? For the Jet offense to reach its full potential, obviously you need a bounce-back season from the quarterback in Geno Smith. You need his struggles last year to be more of a product of his environment than what he is as a player at this point. I think he'll be better for sure with the Jets. I don't know if he's Seattle Geno, but I think he's way better than Raiders Geno. And the rookies, right? Like, how quickly does Sadiq get involved in this passing attack with Mason Taylor hopefully taking a leap in his second year? And then you got Mitchell, who is a lot of potential, but he's made a lot of plays this spring, so that's exciting. And I like the early returns on Cooper. And, as I see Chef Kevin already alluded to, this is why he's the champ. I was about to say this. You get the Breeze chance at MetLife. After Omar Cooper Jr. makes big plays, the Jet fans are going to be doing the Coop chants in the crowd as well.
True. It's I think as a kid, the first one I remember is Tune, obviously. Tune, and then Moose, Daryl Johnston. You couldn't avoid the Cowboys in the early 90s. Impossible. And then Booka Boom with the Rangers, MSG, for all my old Rangers heads. Boom or Book. I don't know. I think the crowd did both, but it sounded the same, Book or Boom. But yeah, dude, it's a great compliment. It really is. It fits in terms of those 3 receivers and how quickly will they be incorporated. I think Cooper he's already there. Coming from Indiana, him and Pons, there are hurdles because they were put in such fantastic positions with this coaching staff that it's not going to be the same way at the NFL. They're going to be on a more even playing field. That's okay. But they also have advantages because I think their transition from college playbook to NFL playbook is going to be more seamless because of that. So I think Cooper's entrenched. I don't think we have to worry about Cooper being immersed into the offense. Obviously, time will tell, but that's my opinion right now. Sadiq is a different story. Hurt right now. I don't think that's the major thing. It'll be interesting to see where they go in terms of 12 personnel. Balance downs 12 personnel. Will it be Mason Taylor and Sadiq, or will it be Mason Taylor and Ruckert most times? Obviously, if they're sneaking a pass in there, if it's a passing down, rarely go 12 personnel, but you'd go 12 personnel where Mason Taylor's the tight end, the Y, and then Sadiq is the third receiver. You could do that. I'm talking about 12 personnel where it's balanced, where they're both in line or someone's in the backfield. If it is Ruckert and Mason Taylor, that's okay. And I think that's what it's going to be initially for balance downs. Sadiq will still get his time, but I think that'll be the signal to know how good they feel about Sadiq on balance downs. Passing downs, I think he'll be right in there. So there's no worries in that regard.
I just wonder how quickly they could get Sadiq up to speed, because I understand that, it's spring. It's not the end of the world that he's not out there, but these are valuable reps for a rookie, I think, especially a guy who really is only a true 1-year starter. Like, you look at the potential for Kenyon Sadiq. That's why he got drafted where he did. He's not a proven commodity as far as year-over-year production in college football. Now, the Jets love him. Frank Reich in particular loves him. So we could give them the benefit of the doubt from the standpoint that they clearly have a plan for him. I just hope he's ready to roll when training camp starts. They say he will. I know that's been reported by Cimini as well, but they better be accurate in that he's ready to go when training camp starts, because they need him. I think he's a major X factor in the type of season the Jets potentially could have.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the concerns are warranted, not just because of the injury, but it's piling on a lot. He's brand new at the position. When I say brand new, a few years, he hasn't played it his entire life. And number two, tight end is very difficult transitioning from college to the NFL. Every player is in on rushing and receiving, even the receivers, obviously, but it's different with tight ends. You are more impactful. The blocking schemes are just obscene. What you have to realize and what you have to know and what you have to feel. So I'd expect Reich to get him on the move, let him feel more natural on the move. But if he can't handle the inline, the stationary stuff, that's going to limit him a bit. So there's a bunch of factors. So I hear you on that for sure.
I go back to a conversation I had with someone who works inside the Jet front office after they took Kenyon Sadiq. And the first thing that was pointed out to me was, we love this because we think it opens things up for Garrett and Mason. It wasn't, we think it opens things up for Jeremy Ruckert or Omar Cooper Jr. or A.D. Mitchell. It's specifically Mason Taylor and Garrett Wilson. So even if Sadiq is not a factor as far as getting the target, you have to account for him because of his size, speed, and athletic prowess every time he's out there. And that's hopefully where Gino and Frank Reich could use the matchups they know they're going to get with Sadiq out there to check to the right play to get the most beneficial opportunity to go downfield, or if you're in the red zone, we'll get into that, actually convert touchdowns.
Yeah. But when we're talking about actual snap count, if it's just that and he can't play the balance downs, the snap count might not be there initially. And if he makes truly a great impact in the passing game, that's okay. But fans should understand that snap count might not be there. Now, where he is really valuable is this sneakiness. And this is what excites me or intrigues me. You could be incredibly sneaky with him, but he has to know receiver. And that's the other thing. Like at tight end, he's got to know the blocking. He's got to know the schemes in line. He's got to know the routes, obviously, but you want him to understand the slot as well, alongside Cooper. But being sneaky, there's things you could do, like, come out on 1st and 10 in 13 personnel, right? With 3 tight ends, 1 receiver, 1 back. go, have Mason Taylor and Rucker in line on both sides like an ace, and stand up Sadiq in a tight split in a wing. So he's kind of in a Y spot, but he's kind of split between Y and slot. That puts the defense in an awkward position because then a corner has to come down. You don't want to press with the corner. And okay, a corner's quick for Sadiq, but that's a size mismatch that might work in the red zone or in certain spots where you need 5 yards, 6 yards. So there's a lot of different things you could do where you come out in 13 personnel, you come out in 12 personnel, but you're really in 11 personnel if you're 12 with Sadiq in there. So that's the purpose of him, the mismatches, to get a certain personnel on the field for the defense.
You know what they say? I'm obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak.
I was obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak. 7 days a week, has a hernia tweak. Obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak. Trying to critique what I read in Newsweek. Obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak. Trying to take a peek at his manly physique. Obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak. Time to take a leak and play hide and go seek.
Vinny Testaverde signed jersey is today's Asmaniac raffle prize. Enter for your chance to win. Jake-Asman on Venmo, AsmanJake@gmail.com on Zelle, or the easiest way, gift a membership. For every membership you gift or $10 super chat or higher, you will be in the Asmaniac raffle. $10 super chat gets you 2 entries. And of course, every time you enter, you're also entered for the weekly raffle, which this Saturday we raffle away. Although Saturday is July 4th, so might not be this Saturday, turns out. Might either be Sunday or Monday. We'll confirm it later in the week. But Joe Namath signed football is the top prize in the weekly raffle. Joe Klecko signed helmet is our second prize. And since it's raffle 80, you knew we had a Wayne Corbett related item. Signed Wayne Corbett football, prize 3. A Jets Legends jersey. You pick the player you want for prize 4. And our 5th prize, 2 tickets to Gangrene Beach Club on July 11th. GangreneBeachClub.com to get your tickets. Super Chats cut the line. The doc is first up today. He says, since Robbie touched on it, here is a way too early prediction. By the end of 2026, Pons and Cooper will contribute far more than Bailey/Sadiq. Robbie, your thoughts on this take from the doc?
It's quite possible, my friend Doc. And would I bet on it now that is the case? Yes, I would.
Really? You're that sold
Yes.
on Cooper and D'Angelo Pons already?
It's yes, but I think the analytical part of it is I think those two will have so many more snaps than the other two. Now Pons still has a way to go. He's playing a lot inside. Him versus Brownlee, but Cooper I think is entrenched, and I think the other two guys are going to be, and I know Jets fans are going to want to smack me for saying this, but they're going to be more specialist types. Sadiq and Bailey, D-line, a lot of guys are specialists. All of them are pretty much. So that's just the way it is. And I wouldn't bet the mortgage on it, but I think that's a good call out by Doc.
I feel like this could strictly come down to the availability of Sadiq, because I think Bailey's going to be out there a lot more than you might initially think.
Passing downs, he's going to be out there all the time. I don't know. We'll see. The rushing downs will be the key. And I think the good thing is, and D-line, look, it's just the nature of the NFL. D-line, you rotate. So in terms of that equation, Pons Cooper versus Sadiq Bailey impact, it's a good one. It's a good question for sure. That's a hell of a topic. Good job, Doc.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Want to get into some takeaways from a really good story that your website published. Michael Nadia wrote it. I delved into it yesterday, but I want your thoughts on it. We know the Jets have been bad. We know the last 10 years in particular, they have broken an NFL record for being a bottom 10 offense in both scoring and yards every single year. The last time the Jets had a good offense, Geno Smith was supposed to be the week 1 starting quarterback, and we know what happened. Ryan Fitzpatrick took over.
Okay.
They were 3rd in the red zone that year. So here's the red zone touchdown percentage by the Jets offense since 2015. You can see all the way in 2015, 66%. That was 3rd in the NFL. since then, there have been multiple 32nd, 30th, 31st last place finishes. This, to me, will decide whether or not Frank Reich and Geno Smith can put together enough competency to maybe save the jobs of the defensive coaching staff, most notably the head coach, Aaron Glenn. They have to be better in the red zone. I think they have the personnel to be a solid red zone offense, but can they go out there and do it? Just give me your thoughts on this chart here and the personnel for the Jets in the red zone in particular.
Chan Gailey, baby. Chan Gailey. It's a great point, especially because the NFL, that's what it's become. It's become a red zone league. You can't, it's a miracle if you stop an offense in between the 20s. That's just what it is. And when you watch the great defensive coordinators today, it's not about not giving an inch. Never. It's never about that anymore. It's about deciding what to give up, deciding what to yield. And, you watch it with McDonald's in Seattle. You watched it with Denver last year. This is what they do. And you have to be really smart. You have to be really smart in terms of what to give up each week to that opponent. And then when you give it up, you get in the red zone and the space shrinks, and then, you bow up and then you get it done. So it's critical. It is absolutely critical. Ken Reich and Glenn, be that switch in terms of today's league and play it the right way in the red zone. That's the question. I don't know. We'll see. But the importance of red zone is pretty much not everything, but it's very, very close.
To me, a big way to get better in the red zone is to have true balance in your offensive attack. The run pass, teams actually not being sure what you're going to be calling. You have Braylon Allen as well. You would think he'd benefit in short yardage situations, but just the unpredictability of your offense, I think is such a major key, because when you watch the Jets last year, Fields couldn't throw. So the Jets would constantly be facing 8 or 9 man boxes and daring the Jets to beat them through the air, and they couldn't. You hope with Geno, they at least have the personnel, and Geno, I think, can throw to at least have some of these defenders back off and give you some more versatility when you get in that box that is inside the 20.
Yeah, and Geno's not afraid to throw, which is, step number one. It sounds easy, but, you get a quarterback who's afraid to make a mistake as opposed to trying to make a play, you're done. It's a losing battle. But when you watch the Jets defense last year, I know everyone's going to say Wilkes. Okay, fair enough. But you watch the defense last year, there were red zone. I did breakdowns on it. There were red zone plays where they had the outside corner in press on, what was it, 3rd and 12? They were at like the 15 or 12-yard, 15-yard line or 18-yard line, and it was 3rd and 12. They had corners in press with single high. Why would you ever do that in today's league? Play off, heels at the sticks. It comes down to stubbornness. If you want to be stubborn and you want to stay true to what you think defense is or what you think football is, to such a degree, it becomes counterproductive and it hurts you. And I think that's what red zone really comes down to, stubbornness. You can't be that stubborn. You have to adapt in a lot more ways than some coaches actually think. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. This comment is very funny. If you saw my show yesterday morning, Tristan says, Sabo is so refreshing after Frankie V's foolishness. The reason why Tristan doesn't like Frankie is because he's a Bailey bro, and Tristan was a Bane truther.
I caught was Tristan on the treadmill?
Yes.
Yeah, I caught part of it, the show. I think I caught that part of it. Yeah, Tristan's he's one of the good guys out there for sure. And Frankie is too. Listen, Frankie, that's the point, my people, to get a rise, and he does it.
Well, I'll tell you what, you and Frankie, battle royale on the beach, Gangrene Beach Club. It's almost time.
All right. Well, let's sell extra tickets for that one. Like, Stuttering John and Crazy Cabby in the early 2000s, Howard Stern. I'm down.
Back to the red zone offense. Who leads the Jets in red zone touchdowns this year?
That's a great question, man. No, not one person stands out right away. You talking about passing or altogether?
Just total touchdowns.
I'd go Brees.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
I'd go Brees because he might catch one or two, a slip design, catch him napping. You want to go tight end, and that would be the number one thought. You want to go Garrett too, obviously. But Garrett, when the space gets condensed down there, you like Garrett more everywhere on the field as opposed to just red zone. I'm not saying he's not great in red zone. He's still great in red zone, but you get my point. And you want to go tight end, but the tight end, you just don't know what's going to happen. So it could be one of the situations where Mason piles up the touchdowns and doesn't have the yards, or Sadiq if he really grabs hold of it. But yeah, I have to go Brees.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We'll get to the super chat from Kashmir. But first, Queen Leanie in the house, our first 5 spot of the show. 5 gifted memberships to the best community in sports. Leanie's in our signed Vinny T Jets jersey raffle on our show today for 5 entries. Hit it.
Is this Mike D's nuts?
No, it's Queen Leanie, the silver hair beauty. She loves the Jets. Leanie used one punch to take out the beast. Queen Leanie is the best. Yes, maniac home pass. It's Queen Leanie.
Yeah, baby. Shout out to Leanie for always supporting the show. Leanie gifted 5 memberships. If you hear your name, say thank you to the Queen. Jets Runny, Horatio Blower, Gregor Smith, James Mathard, and Hector Cabrera, all receiving a gifted membership there from Leanie. Super chat from Kashmir. Interesting question here. Is Darrelle Revis the greatest Jet of all time? I think so. It really depends on how you define greatest, because you could argue it's Namath, but if you're talking about just pure player, Revis in his prime is, to me, maybe the greatest corner to ever play the position. If you just take his prime seasons that he gave with the Jets, he didn't have the longest of careers. So longevity-wise, people will say, oh, Champ Bailey or Dion, or they'll go down the line and say Charles Woodson. But if you just talk prime, I've always argued Revis is the best to ever play his position from about 08 to 2011. I don't think there was anyone that ever played at a higher level. It really depends your answer to the question. I mean, Revis didn't play his whole career with the Jets. He obviously went to the Patriots. He had the year in Tampa. It really kind of depends on what your answer to the criteria for the question is. So I'll let you weigh in first, Robbie, before I give my answer.
Yeah, it's exactly. It comes down to what does greatest mean. I think Revis is far and away the most dominant player the Jets have ever had over a span. And okay, it was a short span, not really short. I mean, listen, football, Terrell Davis, there's a lot of spans that are, people would call short, quote unquote, but in the NFL, 3 seasons is a career, man. 3 seasons could be a career. So Revis was the most dominant by far of all Jets players all time. You got to go Namath in terms of greatest still. Namath 1, Maynard 2, and then I think the conversation begins at 3. And I'd have to go Revis 3, and then take your pick for Martin and Klecko 4. That's
I was going to say, do you put Martin or Klecko on there?
I think you go the Mount Rushmore for the Jets is fascinating, and I go back and forth with this. I think you could go either one, but I don't think there's another candidate. It has to be one or the other. I think I lean Klecko, but it's close, and I think I've waffled over the years. I've had both of them in there.
Yep, I go back and forth on this. If you're just talking about, remember we did the Mount Rushmore Jet conversation?
Yeah,
and it's like, to me, the first couple are obvious. Namath and Maynard need to be on there.
Yeah,
and then after that, there was a huge debate about Revis, Klecko, Curtis Martin, 3 for 2 spots. And then some people would say, well, what about Nick Mangold? And I'm like, okay, well, Kevin Mawai is in the Hall of Fame. So it's hard.
And Mangold and Mawai's careers are very similar too.
Yep.
In terms of Pro Bowls, All Pros. I think Mawai has him edged just a bit. But Mangold was a Jet from start to finish. So who else could be considered, really? I mean, Wesley Walker's in the mix, but he's not up there. Gastineau, obviously. You ask Joe B. Okay. Gastineau would be in the Mount Rushmore mix. I think he's, in the 6, 7, 8 slot somewhere there. And the argument for Revis over Maynard is interesting. From a pure dominant standpoint, I get it. Revis was just that dominant. But Maynard, he's got the Super Bowl. He's got the Super Bowl, and people forget or they don't know Maynard's records at the time of his retirement were obscene. Like he was the all-time leading. I don't want to say anything wrong here, but I think he was the all-time leading receiver at the time he retired or close to the end of his career. I got to double check that. Someone double check that for me. So he was that damn good.
He was. At the time he retired, he was number one.
He was, right? The all-time leading receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's, all you could do is play against your competition, your contemporaries. And Maynard often is the forgotten man in Jets history. And no one's fault, really. He just, he wasn't Namath. And even though he was Namath's dude, he was Namath's guy, he wasn't Namath. So he's often forgotten. But he is number 2, and no one else, I don't think anyone could take his spot at 2.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Big shout out to Ozzy. Ozzy. Oi, oi, oi. In the raffle for 1.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Don't let go, baby. Don't you dare let go. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Shout out to John J. Williams in the raffle for 2. John always using Zelle as his way to enter the raffle. John, you're the man.
Are you a happy guy?
Oh my God, let's go.
John's in for 2 for our raffle today.
You see, this Doc's going to call in. He's Klecko was far more consistent than Namath. Yeah, he was. But greatest, what is greatest? Greatest is,
I think impact is measured as well.
Greatest is a career to me. And
Namath can't tell the history of the NFL without Joe Namath.
Right. Name it. Like, if you ask me, okay, who is the more talented basketball player, LeBron or Michael Jordan? I think it's LeBron overall. Who's the far greater player? Jordan. Not even close. He's got that career. He's got that story, the competition, the ins and outs. And Namath has the Super Bowl. The impact, not just in terms of, outside of football, he was kind of one of the first to cross over from sports to outside of sports, pop culture. But his guarantee, what we know today with the modern league, was started in Super Bowl III with that guarantee. It was a joke, Super Bowl III, in terms of AFL, NFL. It was a joke. And it wasn't single-handedly Namath. I get it. The Jets defense, Beverly, Johnny Sample, the Buddy Ryan, they were great. Walt Michaels. But Namath was the leader. He was the front man. And yeah, he had a lot of picks, but it was a different era. Bradshaw almost had more picks than interceptions.
First 4,000-yard passer ever in a 14-game season.
Yes. Is he overrated in terms of the way people speak about him? Unquestionably, yes. But is he kind of underrated when people realize what I just said? Yes. Also, yes. He was that good. Injuries derailed him. He still got the Super Bowl. The modern NFL started in Super Bowl III. And when the Chiefs did it again the next year, this is where we are because of that.
You just wonder how different Joe Namath's career is if modern medicine existed when he played.
Yes.
Because his career ended way earlier than it would have. Like, imagine the rules of today existed when Joe Namath played. He'd be healthier. He'd be able to. He was a dual threat quarterback. Watch his film at Alabama. Like, he could run. Man. Joe was an elite athlete, and because of the knee injuries, he became just a drop back passer. But in those days, you could assault the quarterback, you could assault the receivers. Yeah. Like, the statistics that Joe could have put up with his arm, we're talking legendary stuff that we didn't get a chance to fully see because of the way the game was played then.
If anyone wants a laugh, look up the yards per attempt and yards per completion in the NFL, or AFL 2 included, today, 2025, compared to 1968. You'll laugh. It's hilarious. It was a completely different game. They ran the ball, they ran the ball, they ran the ball. And when they passed, they passed with daggers. They passed to put a dagger in your heart. They looked for chunks. That's the way it was. So it was, you can't look at TDs, interceptions the same way. You can't look at completion percentage. It's a foreign land. And I think everyone has to realize that. So interesting. I want to hear Doc's argument, though, for Klecko over Namath in terms of all-time greatest Jets. That's interesting.
We will get to the Doc call in a moment, but how about this? You guys are the greatest. Austrian Jet fan got us rolling here by gifting a channel membership.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
How about a 10 spot? First of the day, 10 raffle entries from Green Gang. Hit the Jet chant for Green Gang 3652. Green Gang, you are the man. You're in our raffle for 10 entries. Windy City Jet fan, one of the greats that tunes in each and every day. He gifted 5 channel memberships. Let's go.
And here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Windy City Jet fan in the raffle for 5. Let me just get to the 15 people who got memberships from Green Gang and Windy City, and then we'll get to that call from Doc Jet fan. Here we go. Adonis ROH, Terrence Connors, Jay Brown, 51 Page, NYR Tim all received a membership there from Windy City. We also have a 10 spot here from Green Gang, as I mentioned, and that went to AP King, Andrew Fialco. Maybe we'll get Fialco on the show this month because his training camp for Don Bosco hasn't started just yet. That'll be fun to get him back on.
He's still at Don Bosco?
He's still coaching his tail off, coaching Joe Shane's kid.
Oh,
he's the quarterback there. Yeah.
Nice.
Luke 3R, Johnny Johnson, Attic 3739, Justin Rios, Shane Hinton, CT the God, Kevin Sanchez, all receiving a gifted membership there from Green Gang. And then again, Windy City. So I appreciate both of you guys for supporting the show. You wanted the Doc, you're getting the Doc, Mr. Sabo. Doc Jet fan is next on the Gus Buster hotline. Hello, Doc.
What up, Doc?
That's so nice of you to take my call. I wasn't planning on calling in. I'm saving my predictions so they're not way too early, that they're just early after training camp, because there's a lot. But you mentioned Klecko, Namath, just the way you guys perseverate over all the Jet games now.
Did you say perseverate?
Well, I mean, you're great fans that watch every detail and break down films. And, I saw Klecko his whole career. I saw Namath almost his entire career also. It's not even close. I'm telling you, man, the legend of, and I love Joe Namath. I've met Joe Namath a number of times. He's one of the nicest human beings on the face of the earth. He's true Western Pennsylvania values. He treats everybody the same. He gave me one of my biggest thrills watching him in the Super Bowl. I went to the game before the Super Bowl against Oakland at Shea. One of the greatest. It was pouring, but it was one of the greatest. I love Joe, but the statistics and having watched him play do not match up with the legend. I'm sorry.
100%. I admit that. 100%.
And the Jets won Super Bowl III because of Johnny Sample and the 3 interceptions. Baltimore was going to score.
Well, Earl Morrow was just throwing it up for a grab.
He was. And again, the last thing I want to do is disparage a legend. You don't do that when you're a fan of the Jets because there's so few of them. But no, Joe was great. Listen, Joe Klecko, you talk to the guys that he played against, the John Hannas, the Anthony Munoz, those kind of guys, and they'll tell them there was nobody nearly as difficult to play against as Joe Klecko. The sack exchange you guys all know about. Mark Gastineau was a one-trick pony, disregarded the run. Sound familiar, Bailey Bros? No, disregarded the runs, went after the quarterback, but
he was situational. If I'm not mistaken, Doc, tell me because I'm too young. Once they got into like 85, 86, they started treating him more situational. Like they didn't even start him in base at times.
That is correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And by the way, in all those seasons, Klecko had a lot of seasons. He had close to 20 sacks, 16 sacks.
Yeah, the year before they started counting, Klecko unofficially had 20.5, I think it was.
Correct. That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So listen, Doc, this is what I'd say.
Yeah.
If Namath hadn't won Super Bowl III, I think it's fine to put Klecko over Namath.
The Jets defense won Super Bowl III.
They got the championship.
The game before that, though, that you were at, Namath
he was throwing throwing the ball all over the place.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I mean, what I remember about that game is being soaked. But it was a long, long time ago. Hey, you know what? Look, I mean, Namath, he would have been one of the unbelievable top flight, all-time best quarterbacks. He got hurt. He was a running quarterback at Alabama. Some of his best weapons were taken away from him, and certainly surgery at Lenox Hill back then was not the same as it is today.
Yeah, I'm sure chasing tail in New York didn't help his career either. I'm sure,
or Mickey Mantle's, or any one of a number of states. And by the way, Namath, I'm not saying a bad thing about him. I'm just saying, dollar for dollar, play for play, year for year, Klecko was amazing. The thing I have a hard time forgetting about Revis, and maybe my recollection's off, do you remember when they got him back and he signed his last contract for the Jets? I remember watching those games and thinking, he wants no part of tackling anybody.
The decline had already well begun at that point for him.
He was good in 15 until the last game he got torched by, what's his name on the Bills?
Evans?
No, the Clemson receiver.
Watkins.
Sammy Watkins torched him in that final game. And then he was shot by 2016. Like, he was just awful. Then he lost it quick. But he was still good. If you go back and look, he was still a very good player. He wasn't, 2010 Revis in 2015, but he was still good in 2015. By the time we got to 2016, he was done. I mean, it was obvious. He was a shot player.
Yeah, I always thought, and I even wrote about this at my old site, I always thought he was the perfect candidate to transition to safety.
And he never wanted to do it. And I asked him about it a couple of years ago when we had him on the show. And he basically gave like a non-answer. Like, his ego would not allow him to play any other position.
He was physical. He was a great tackler. However, even if he wanted to, it wouldn't have worked because he broke down.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Because I'd always wondered that with Revis also. When he started losing his ability to swing his hips around, but he could still hit and he could still tackle, why he didn't play safety the way
he was the perfect candidate.
The way the Jets may play Minka this year. He's also a pretty good tackler. On another note, again, I always like to keep it positive, but I'm just giving you my opinion. Yeah. I think Sadiq, and you touched on it before, and God almighty, I hope I'm wrong. I think he's got such bust potential, and I'll tell you why. Why is it we only criticize quarterbacks and degrade them when it comes to draftability based on their experience, right? They'll say, so-and-so only started 16 games, Bo Nix started 90. Why doesn't that count in other positions? As a tight end, he played 1 year, caught 500 yards worth of balls, which is like 35 a game, nothing special. I get it. He's the Mike Mula of training, the workouts. He ran fast, jumped high, and did all those sort of things. But why do we always degrade quarterbacks? Yes, there's a lot of cerebral component to playing quarterback, but he doesn't have much experience. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I bet you the first year you won't be happy with the results.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And I think there's two routes, and one of the routes that might be more likely is that he's a passing specialist who often plays a receiver type role. And, that could do wonders in terms of mismatches. You come out in 12 personnel, but it's really 11. The defense has to lighten up. They have to. And if they do lighten up, okay, motion them in, get him on an off Y, and, have him try to manhandle the corner, the slot corner, and try to sneak a run in there. So there are things you can do. But I hear you, man. It's the experience. It should matter more for other positions, but I think it's more for me. Other positions is IQ and just overall feel. And
tight ends take time too. Like not everyone comes in and is Bowers right away. And if you compare Sadiq to other first round tight ends that have been selected in the first round since 2023, his production in college is a lot lower than anyone else because he didn't have as much experience. So you're betting on the character. He's a super high character guy. He comes from an athletic family.
Sure. Bailey too.
Yeah, you're hoping that by the end of his second year, he's like a true top 10 tight end in the league. You're using a top 16 pick on the guy.
I agree. I mean, look, the potential for creating mismatches, which is what the coaches' jobs are all about, is certainly there. And I wish him every success like I do every Jet. I'm just a little concerned that this year might be a little bit of a bust because he's starting out. We'll see after, they put the pads on, how quickly he develops. You might think he's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm just concerned, and I just wanted to raise the point because I think experience matters at every position. It may count more as quarterbacks, but I think every position in football, it's important. But anyway, thank you for your time, fellas.
Doc, great call. As always, Doc Jet fan, one of the greats. We'll see how quickly they get him up to speed. I think what will help Sadiq is that Mason Taylor's there and vice versa. So I think that should create some matchup. If these coaches are competent, again, Doc nailed it. The job of the coaches is to create mismatches. Jets never did that a year ago. That's Frank Reich's job.
Yeah, and it's always an uphill battle with rookies because the expectations always get soar through the roof, and sometimes it's really unfair, even if the guy is a first rounder. The one thing, I don't know if I'm concerned, but I've thought about when you brought up the character stuff, high character with Sadiq and, all that stuff. And people are touting academics and all that stuff. I'm fearful the Jets may have gone overboard in that regard. Like, for instance, if they were not interested in Mekhi Lemon whatsoever because of certain things that transpired, I don't know if I agree with that. There's something to be said for, first of all, academic smarts do not translate to the football field. Zero, zilch. They do not. Not one bit. And I don't think people realize that. It's more critical thinking and awareness than that stuff. So it's something to keep an eye on, I think. It's just, I'm a little worried they went too far in that regard. The character, the well-spoken area, if that makes sense.
Super Chats cut the line. Kashmir says, who's the best Jet linebacker of all time? I think it's Mo Lewis.
So no edges, right? So
linebacker.
Let's throw out Kyle Clifton for the Asmaniacs because he's the all-time leading Jets tackler, and
he's great. He probably should be in the Ring of Honor too.
Yeah, let's throw him. He's not in the discussion, but let's throw him out there because tackles didn't start being recorded until basically sacks, I guess, around that same time. Mo Lewis, David Harris. No, I'd put Mo Lewis, Al Atkinson from the Super Bowl team deserves some shine. And what's his name?
Lance Mel?
No, the other guy from the Super Bowl team. He's probably the top guy. Him and
Bobby
Mo Lewis. Grantham.
Larry Grantham.
Grantham and Mo Lewis, I think, go head to head. Those two.
My favorite Jet linebacker ever. Probably David Harris or Bart Scott.
Yeah, and they were a great pair because Bart Scott was maniacal. He didn't care about his body. He put it on the line. He sacrificed for the guy next to him, which helped David Harris a lot. If you want a treat, go back to, buy a six-pack, pop on YouTube and watch 2009 playoffs, 2010 playoffs, and watch Bart Scott individually fill and spill on run plays. Grown man stuff. It's great stuff watching.
We actually talked about this on the radio on Friday when I did a show filling in for Carlin with Bart about the 2010, 2009 Jet defenses. David Harris had the green dot, and Bart played off of him, and just kind of the intricacies of their defense with those two guys.
Yeah, it's great. I got to check that. Can I still watch? I could go on the
It's
app.
on YouTube. I don't remember when we talked about it. We somehow got into it in the middle of it. We got into it in the middle of a segment. We started with basketball and somehow got to the 2010 Jets. So
nice. It always comes back to Rex's Jets.
Always.
Yeah, dude. It's
last
great.
time I had happiness as a Jet fan.
Dude, as a coach, just those defenses, just perfect. It's like chef's kiss, as Chef Kevin would appreciate that.
Robin Boy Wonders in the Raffle for 2 says Joe Namath was at his best in many games he actually lost. Injuries did him in. Arm was elite as anyone. Klecko was all pro at 3 positions. That is compelling.
Yeah.
They're both all-time greats. I just think Namath winning the Super Bowl, quarterback, impact.
Yep.
You could say he's the greatest Jet. You could say Klecko was better at his position than Namath was at his. But again, it's semantics in the argument.
Sure. It's about, so much of it is about the career, the story, how it goes down. I can't just Namath and Maynard, 1-2, ironclad. I should have asked Doc what his rankings would be. Doc, comment. Put your top 4 or top 4 is fine. That would fascinate me to how you'd rank them.
Sam, super chat, in for 2. Thank you, Sam. Says Jay Classy Move on CJ2K. Thoughts on giving rookies the Peyton Manning treatment, play until the lights turn on.
Yeah, that was tough yesterday, but necessary too. It's football, you gotta be smacked in the face, sobering reminder what these guys are doing. And it's always a joke to me. I laugh when I used to hear callers call into WFAN and say, when there was a controversial play, just have him, Goodell should put him on the field Monday and Tuesday and start the game from that point and finish it. No, these guys, when they're done with the game, you feel like you've been in a car accident. That's how bad it is. And lesser so nowadays with the rules. But yeah, that's tough, man, with Chris Johnson. That was rough. And
terrible news. And obviously just you feel for his family. He's got, I think, 4 or 5 kids I read yesterday. Just terrible.
Have there been ALS incidents in the NFL?
The most notable one, I think, is the special teamer on the Saints.
Gleason?
Steve Gleason, yeah.
I gotta look that up because I'm curious about that now.
What's the Peyton Manning treatment, playing till the lights turn on?
Yeah, I didn't know what that meant.
Is that I'm gonna interpret it, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Sam. You're saying just play the rookies, let them get the experience until it just clicks?
Oh, right.
I'm guessing that's what he means. I would say for the most part, yes. Like, again, if David Bailey's not great against the run in week 1, put him out there and let him get better. This is a year where I need my number 2 pick to be on the field. I want the young players to play. There's veterans to help them. Let them play. That's my philosophy.
It'll be interesting. That would be mine too. And it would be mine more so than the opposite. But at the same time, it depends. There's levels. He can't be a liability. If he's a complete liability, that destroys the entire unit. That destroys other players around him. He just has to not be a liability. And if that's the case, then okay, let's just do it till the lights turn on. I agree.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Robby Sabo is the guest. If you guys have anything you want us to address, write it in and we'll bring it up on the screen. Brandon wrote an earlier random question. Does anyone know what happened on the green and white scrimmage they used to have? They still have it. It's just not as much of a true full pad scrimmage. It's just a practice that's now at the Jet facility as opposed to doing it at Rutgers, or years ago when they were in Cortland, it was a big deal. They just basically have a lot more team periods. Like we went last year. I was there. We did the Asmaniac meetup at Chef Kevin's restaurant, Cloverleaf Tavern, after the Jets green and white scrimmage last summer. So there's that.
Was that the day it rained and I sat with you in the end zone for a little bit?
No, that was 2 years ago. That was the day they held Rodgers out of training camp and played Tyrod because it was raining.
Rodgers was still on the team. Yeah, the green and white.
That's the day I sat next to David Saleh and the Saleh family for the whole practice. Was talking with them.
He was there. I sat next to you. I didn't even.
Yeah, Saleh's brother and that whole side of the family was there. They were great. They were big fans of the show.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, they were cool.
You should have told him, hey, tell your brother to give me the Joe B treatment. Come on.
Shining Wizards Kevin says you should run something back at Cloverleaf. We are. That's the plan. We just don't have the training camp schedule, Kevin. As soon as we get it, Chef Kevin and I are putting together our second annual Cloverleaf Asmaniac meetup after a Jet training camp practice. So 2 years ago, we did a training camp event. And last year we did an event at Cloverleaf after the green and white scrimmage. And we'll do it again this year. We just need the actual training camp schedule, which we'll get at some point in July, which practices are open for fans.
Yes. And what was it last year? Like 10 to 12? It was a sizable number, if I remember correctly.
No, a couple of years ago it was. Last year was not as many.
Oh, Glenn shut it. That's right. 2 years ago, and then Glenn shut it down to, what, a 6 or 8, something like that.
New Q says, second Gorman speech at Cloverleaf. Charles' speech was so long last year.
He did a speech.
It's actually still going. It's longer than Bonesy's Asmaniac Championship speech at the 2025 Asmaniac Draft Party.
That's so funny. Was it a toast type speech? What did he have to work with? Was it a blank slate?
It was Gorman being Gorman.
It could mean a lot of different things. Was this videotaped?
It was. I was trying to find it. I don't have it handy. Gator, if you happen to have Charles Gorman's speech from the Chef Kevin Cloverleaf meetup, please send it to me, and I'll
I need entertainment. Yes, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to more of your calls before we say goodbye to Rob.
Oh my God. We're looking into the future. My God, this is crazy.
What happened? What happened, Beast?
Venezuela had a nasty earthquake yesterday, same with Japan and many others. A lot of crazy things are happening in the world, and I just watched a research in Lithuanian.
Who?
Aliens have arrived.
Are these the end times, Beast?
Dave Brugger was right about one thing. It looks like we are.
These are the end times. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. So we it's happening right before our very eyes. Japan, earthquakes, Venezuela, earthquakes.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Do you have your bug out stuff? Do you have your route? What are you going to do?
You see what this means up here? Pay attention and watch and learn. See, scientists have not, they've not known this for years, but we got some crazy atmospheres changing in our society. I mean, look at all of us now. I mean, okay, our boys in New York have finally won the title, but there were fans they're happy that they won the belt, and then you got the goofy ones that likes to steal a trash can, and then you got morons jumping off of trees, jumping off of silence, drinking mop and go, sticking mothballs up somebody's ass. You probably got some moron thinking Kool-Aid and a jump of Joy soap is a tasty beverage on a cold day. Wow!
Beast.
Wow!
Beast, did you not watch it was a while ago, like 20 years ago at this point, even longer, the Al Gore environmental
I hate
movie.
Al Gore.
Did you not listen to that? Our atmosphere is dying. These people, that's what's happening. The people are going wacky because of that, man. We got to take care of the ozone and all that.
We tried to take care of this for decades because look at all the crap that's happening. Taxes are through the roof. People are struggling. I, on the other hand, just like many, many others, are going through very crazy times because it's happening right before our very eyes. Our worlds have not changed. Why have
too
they
much
not
sun,
changed?
Beast?
Because the politicians, the dirty, ratting bastards, all they do is lie, cheat, and steal, and then they sit there and they go, "Oh, well, we don't know what to do." Oh, cut the crap, will you? You've been at it for 50 years and you can't tell us one thing because you like to hide the truth.
Robbie, ask Beast who he's rooting for in the World Cup.
Beast, who are you rooting for in the World Cup? Anthony Fauci?
Bullshit. What's next, folks? What is next? I'll tell you what's next. Maybe society will kick us in the ass and finally.
The guy who wears a MAGA cat can't say that he's rooting for the U.S. Ask him, Robbie.
You're not rooting for the U.S.?
I'm not even bother with today.
Why? Because it represents Fauci and Al Gore and
Come on,
Bill.
I think Bill
Gates is a good guy. Actually.
USA tomorrow night, baby. Bosnia doesn't know what's coming.
Scary stuff that you got to be prepared for.
USA.
I'm seeing some scary stuff right before my very eyes. You know, at age 42, I thought I was going to live on this earth maybe until I'm 80. Now we don't know we don't even know if we're going to live or not now anymore because the way our world has turned. I mean, I'm scared of dying, but I'm not ready for that yet.
You're scared of dying?
I got one thing that's going to back me up. That Bible that Brigger gave me. I'm glad I got that. I'm prepared to go down with it. If I'm going down with
Dave Brigger's rooting for the United States.
In my hand. I'm dying with that thing in my hand.
Not really sure what you're talking about. Can you just say go USA?
I'm dying with that Bible in my hand for one reason. I'm going to heaven with
Any
that
Jets takes?
All right.
Thoughts on the Jets?
That's right. I'm taking them with me too.
The
past,
Jets?
Present, and future. Past, present, and future. We'll tell it like.
Thoughts on the Jets?
That's right. That's right.
All right. If you're not going to play ball.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Oh, man. Can you turn your camera on, Beast Breaker?
Beat it, loser. Get a job.
I have 2 jobs already, Beast. I work at FC Mammoth. I do Jersey Mike.
Get a job.
Oh, man. I'm losing brain cells listening to this guy. True. Robbie, what's your thoughts on the Mets? They've been terrible. They're like garbage. And then the Yankees, they're on their little collapse like usual. What's your thoughts on the Yankees and the Mets?
I want nothing to do. I want nothing to do with this.
Why, Beast? What's up with Mad Max? Hold on. You gotta inform the guest of what's happening. I have no idea. Beast, talk to me, man.
I want nothing to do with this loser.
Why? What happened? What do you do? Mad Max.
I have had sex.
Beast just can't take jokes. You know, we're just joking around this show.
This is the portion of the show where Beast thinks that he muted himself by turning his camera off, or we could hear him typing, but he has to verbally say what he's typing first.
I think he types like 90 words a minute, actually.
Yeah.
Beast, put your camera on. Stop this nonsense.
I have had sex.
We just heard him say that 30 seconds prior.
What happened?
Beast. Beast Kryptonite is Mad Max.
That is true. Jake, what's your thoughts on the Mets? They're like trash. Mendoza's terrible, and then the Yankees are like on their little collapse like usual.
Well, Mendoza might not be a good manager, but the problem is the person who put the team together.
Why would you trade Pete Alonso? Why would you trade?
He didn't trade him. He didn't sign him. It's even worse. They have more money than any team in baseball, and they chose to let Pete walk.
He didn't even sign Alonso. Alonso's a good player. Yankees are on their usual collapse. Did you see him yesterday against the Tigers? 7-3. How do you lose to the Tigers? They're not even that good.
Beastbreaker writes in, I'm busy with the future I'm thinking about. Beast, we know you're there. Put your camera back on. Stop being a baby. Be a man's man. What's happened to you?
Yeah,
I've been reading a lot of things about this future because we don't know what the future's going to hold for all of us.
Stop with the future nonsense. Put your camera on and let's talk about the Jets. Live in the now, Beast. The future's now.
We are in the future, but we already have a lot of.
The future's now. Say it.
We already know that, but we got dogs that are made out of robots. We got Terminators. They're gonna come out soon. Those T-800s, we're gonna have those soon enough.
Put your camera on, Beast. We can't see you.
You'll get your wish. You'll get it in writing.
Thank you.
Now let's read. Yeah, we know that. Boy, this world is getting strange by the hour. Very strange.
Oh, my goodness gracious!
Japan, Venezuela, Russia, Mid-Atlantic Ridge, Indonesia, China, and the Philippine Sea all got hit. 6s and 7s. Those are some scary numbers.
Talk about the future. The future. It's gonna happen. Aaron Glen's gonna be fired. We're gonna get an actual coach in Kevin O'Connell or Mike Tomlin, and then we'll get a new franchise quarterback, and the Jets will win the Super Bowl. That's our future.
Yeah, but then the world is really ending. You just put Beast in a mood.
Beast shouldn't be in a mood. He's winning the Super Bowl. When the Jets win the Super Bowl, Beast will be happy. He'll be partying around New York City with all the eyes maniacs.
And with what? $200 worth of ammunition that you don't have, pal? You don't have this stuff like I do. You don't have this kind of stuff. You don't have this. I do. I own 3 of these. $660 worth of ammunition that I paid for. See, I wear this with pride and honor and dignity. See, you think it's I gotta go take a shit right now. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about right here. When I put my effort into these bands, I put more effort in here than what nobody else has the testicles to do.
When a man says testicles.
What does your shirt say, Beast?
When I wear this with pride.
Ooh.
That's the world for you right there. That's the real world.
Beast Baker, look at those bands. They look badass. Waving out
bad company, baby.
Like, something you can't handle because I've seen them all. And don't you ever come at me with Elton John ever again, because I will tear your throat out and rip you right from.
Elton John, I think, is the best singer of all time. Let's be honest, he's a good singer.
Give me a break. The real stuff is right here. The real stuff is right here.
What's your favorite Megadeth song? What's your favorite Megadeth?
You haven't learned nothing about it because you're below subpar. I'm already above par, pal. You are weak.
I mean, come on, I'm on the top of the.
Have it all.
I hear this verse constantly playing.
You don't have this. You have 0, and you'll always be a 0 until you can grow some of them, what a spine or some muscles under that, whatever that is. Come back to me in 10 years until you get some balls.
He's wiry, Beast.
What a moment in time. All right, one last call for you, Robbie. Tristan's excited to talk to you, so we'll get him on.
My boy Tristan.
Yo, Robbie, a man
What's
with
up?
sense, a man with smarts, a man that brings actual facts, history, statistics to the conversation, and not just feelings. You know, I'm not going to say who I'm talking about, but
I dropped those facts. You know that, Tristan.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like when Jake asks you a question, you come with history, statistics, you know, not just I feel as though Bailey might be a great
Tristan, are you coming on July 11th? You and Frankie need to hug it out.
Man, Frankie, listen, I can't. I just wanted to talk to you all about where is July 11th? You know, I live all the way out in Mormonville now, so no offense to any Mormons that like the Jets. I apologize.
Ocean Casino, baby. Atlantic City.
Atlantic City. You know, my little girlfriend has to move up there to Jersey to do some to fill in for a manager at her franchise. So maybe we'll see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, make it happen,
so
man. Come on.
My thing is, there was a point put out yesterday, Robbie, that I am beside my knowledge because Bailey was on the #1 run defense team last year, and yet when they show highlights of Bailey, they don't show not one run stop. And I just go against what you guys say when you're like, just put him out there until he gets good against the run, because I just really disagree with that, because I just honestly feel like he doesn't want to be a part of the run defense. So no matter what we've done on the rest of the line, I don't feel like he wants to be part of run defense. He wants to do what he wants to do, which is rush the quarterback. So I've put together my bets, Jake, and I bet that JJ will have more tackles for losses this year, and Bain will have more sacks and tackles for losses this year, and I'm putting $100 on that, barring
a crazy amount of injury between the two. So if Frankie V wants to take that bet on Bane, I want to.
What if Bailey's really good? Have you considered that possibility?
If he's really good against the pass, I don't doubt that.
What if he's just really, really good he's a sack artist? He's super impactful. That's what the number 2 pick needs to be.
So my argument, Jake, is like it's like nobody's listening. I mean, Doc gets listened to. My thing is we have not proven that we can be in the position where a sack artist is impactful for the Jets.
What if he's Mark Gastineau? You're not happy with that?
We haven't. But what I'm saying is, Jake, when have we been in 3rd and long? But
they didn't just add Bailey and do nothing else. They also traded for Tavondre Sweat. They signed Joseph Asai. They signed Kingsley Anabari. They have Harrison Phillips still on that defensive line. He graded out really good against the run. You're getting another year from Jawan Briggs, who did give you some pass rush juice and was pretty solid against the run. You have players there. You're not just asking David Bailey to be the run stuffer. His job is still to be a game wrecker eventually, and he's got a good D-line coach who should be able to help him with his technique. But you're only looking at the negatives.
All of these things, and we've shored up our run, and it's just going to be another situation where he feels like somebody else could take care of this. I could take a play off, and
I don't know about that.
Get gashed, it's going to be an issue.
It's what you see on the college tape. I know what Tristan's saying. It's what you see in the college tape is it's tricky because it was the Big 12. It was a 3-3-5 defense, air raid, open. So they played differently. It's a very different game. A lot of times the scheme is set up to allow him to do things, to allow him to slant inside, go outside, do things where someone's replacing him off the edge. So he had that freedom.
Mm-hmm.
He does have that one-track mindset where even the good run stops he has, it's like he's rushing the passer. He's making a move as if it's a passing down, eluding, going around. It's the instinct, I think, that Dunbar and the Jets have to break out of him. And that is the tricky thing. It's an instinct where they have to beat the instinct out of him with that one-track mindset in order for him to flourish at this level in the all-around game. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think basically my problem is if it wasn't Bane, I don't care. I feel like we bring up Bane a lot. I'm a Miami fan, so whatever. I just feel like if you're going to pick somebody that high on defense, they have to want to be a part of the play no matter what it is at any point in time, and want to hawk it down at any point in time. They want to be a part of the play, whether it's a pass, a draw play, a run play, a sweep play, a jet sweep. I want to be a part of this play, whether it's the complete other direction. And I feel like even Reese brought that. And to your point earlier when you were talking about Lemon, I wonder if his 2.0 GPA and the way that he speaks, you said that earlier. I never thought about that. Maybe help them pass on somebody who's, in my opinion, I hate Ohio State. I would stomp on a random Buckeye if I saw it spilled in the aisles at the grocery store. I hate the Buckeyes. I would have rather, but his hunger to be a part of the play just seems a lot more apparent. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I know. So what you're saying with Bailey is, or anyone, if you're taking him number 2, the will to do your job, not be the guy to make the play, but to do your job specifically has to be there. Mm-hmm. And I think that's fair.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah. And yeah, Lemon, I don't know, that thought I had earlier. Listen, I have no idea. It's just a thought that I'm thinking about. Have they taken it too far in that regard? I understand there's value in drafting the right person on top of the right football player, but there's also value in drafting the kid who had to scratch and claw from a rough circumstance growing up. There's also value in drafting that dog, if that makes sense. And it comes down to watching the tape, and a lot of it's IQ, a lot of it's feel. Does the guy, like when I watch Lemon on tape, he's got eyes in the back of his head. He I'm doing the head thing that he does. He just feels it, and it's so apparent that he feels it. I admit I would have, if I were Muji, I would have walked away with Reese and Lemon that night. But I don't get paid. I don't get paid the big bucks, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, Jake, this is my first time joining on a laptop. I see that there's a present button here. I will share whatever clips that I have to present beforehand and make sure that there's no like copyright issues with them. But if I find busts where it is Bailey's fault that we get gashed and it's situational, I'm gonna show them.
Look,
and I'm gonna do it on
Monday. If he doesn't perform, he'll be rightfully criticized. But you're already anointing him as a bust, and I think that's crazy because
There's levels.
If the Jets didn't take him 2, he was going 3. Like to act like this is such a reach. Like it was a real debate between Bailey and Reese.
If what am I trying to say? If we didn't take Zach Wilson 2, he was going 3.
Right, and guess what? The fact that
and
the
that's what I'm saying.
Niners
I feel like
Trey Lance shouldn't be forgotten.
I feel like highlights and shine made Zach more than what he was at that time, and we fell victim to that same exact situation. He is fast, he's explosive, and he's going to get to your quarterback. But when are we going to be in that situation? And I hope we are. I'm wanting us to be. But if we're in a situation where he could decide the game and he gets a sack, I will shut up, and I promise I will.
That's what he's supposed to do. So let's see. Again, he hasn't played a game yet. So you're already like, I've never seen someone so down on a guy who, no matter how you felt about him, is a phenomenally talented player. Like, again, even if you preferred Reese, the idea that Bailey is not deserving of being a top 10 pick is crazy.
Look, there's different levels. It's not black and white. He just can't be a complete liability in the all-around game. And if he succeeds in not being that, then okay, there's something to work with. I think that's where we gotta start, to the point of the Peyton Manning. What was the saying? Play him till the lights come on. I think that's where we got to start. He just has to be, he just has to be really strict in his keys and his reads. And we'll see. We'll know pretty early. We'll know in the summer, I think.
Robbie, you're the man. Thanks for coming on as always.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the co-founder of JetX, Robby Sabo, with us in his weekly spot.
It's time for Robby Sabo. Not Ricky Dicky top of the dingo. He's a rubby dubby dabo. The silver fox, he got hair like a wingo. It's the rubby dubby doobie Sabo. He got jet points up his freaking wazingo. Let's hear from Robby Sabo.
Yeah, baby. All right, here's what we're going to do. We got a couple of you on hold who want in on the conversation, so I am pumped about that. We will get to all of your calls right after these short words.
Here we go. Don't miss out on the biggest and best meetup of the year. Saturday, July 11th, Atlantic City, New Jersey. HQ2 Beach Club. We're taking over, baby. At 12 p.m., it's the Gangrene Beach Club. Hosted by some of your favorites. Jake Asman, Rich Cimini, Brandon Tierney, Fireman Ed, Connor Hughes, Antoine Staley, Brian Costello, Ryan Sampson, Zach Rosenblatt, Will Parkinson, Frankie B, Omari Brown, Matt O'Leary, Green Bean, Ryan Delaney, Richie Marula, Robby Sabo, Dom C, Joe Blewett, Nick Faria, Paul Boy Green Esden Jr., Bree Martinez, Dick Shine, Tyson Roush, and more surprise guests to be announced. Get your tickets now. Must be 21 or older. Who's subject to change.
All right, Asmaniacs, listen up for a second. No matter what you're watching, whether it's New York sports or any game you didn't plan on caring about, there's no better way to stay locked in than with PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy made simple. You're just picking more or less on player projections. That's it. No complicated lineups, no nonsense. Just you versus the numbers. And here's why I love it. Even if it's a game you normally wouldn't care about, once you got a lineup going, you're locked in. Every play matters. Every drive matters. Every at-bat matters. I've been mixing sports too. Maybe a little football, throwing some baseball, maybe some basketball. And now you've got action across the board all night. And PrizePicks makes it even better with features like early cash outs if your picks are hitting, the ability to mix multiple sports in one lineup, and you can even see what other people are playing and tail their picks. So if you haven't tried it yet, what are you doing? Download the PrizePicks app right now. Use code HMA. That's HMA, and you'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, it's HMA on PrizePicks. PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right. Now to your calls. If you're on hold, stay right there. We're coming to you shortly. Terrell is first in this segment. Hello, Terrell. Terrell? Or not. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have Terrell. But there's a guy on the line who I saw people in the chat were clamoring for. They're like, where's he been? Is he boycotting the show? Is he leaving the Asmaniac community? And I said, have no fear. I've been in constant communication with this man. And he joins us right now.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. Give me some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Hey,
hello,
kids.
Charles.
How are you? Hey, Asmaniacs, I am here. No, I am not really boycotting the show. I'm just taking a break from it. I need some me time. With that being said, hope you're all doing very well. I'm doing pretty well myself for the most part. Been applying for jobs left and right, especially for dishwashing positions. With that being said, in regards to the whole David Bailey being an automatic bust, I completely disagree. But then again, what the heck do I know? I do believe in Carl Dunbar, a defensive line coach. He's had a great career developing really solid defensive linemen and pass rushers since his days in Minnesota. You know, then he was great with us when he first came here from 2012 to 2014. He was great for over a decade in Pittsburgh. I don't see him sticking up the joint here with the Jets the second time around.
I'm excited to see what Carl Dunbar could do coaching up David Bailey in particular, Charles. I think that's an excellent point.
I think so, too. I mean, I understand. What's that gentleman's name? Tristan. I understand his concern because the last time we had the number 2 overall pick. We had Zach Wilson. But Zach Wilson really was more of a project of a player, never mind a quarterback, when we drafted him number 2 overall. David Bailey's not really a project. I mean, this guy was a very solid pass rusher even before when he had breakout year in Texas Tech. I mean, I think he played for Stanford previously before he went to Texas Tech, if I'm not mistaken.
He did play at Stanford. He was productive there, and then he was the best pass rusher at Texas Tech in his final season.
Exactly my point. But I get where Tristan is coming from to a degree that, the last time we had the number 2, we took Zach Wilson, and it was pretty much disastrous. I do not see it being this way with David Bailey. But then again, I said, we don't know. We're not experts. We're not Mel Kiper, although he's far from perfect either. But I definitely do think Carl Dunbar will work wonders with our defensive line. I definitely believe that. I think besides, if you look last year, as bad as our run defense was, and believe me, it was bad, our pass rush was just as bad, if not worse. We haven't had a true, legitimate pass rusher since John Abraham. I wish I was just relaxed drug looks right now. Oh, Mad Max. Oh, sure. Let the young man come on. Just message.
No. You, Mad Max, stop demanding to go on with people. This is my time with Charles Gorman. All right, Mad Max is in the private chat trying to pester his way on.
She called him a moron, so whatever. I don't really care.
Now let's talk about Tom Ace's comment, though. That's what I put on the screen. He says
believe it or not, I just woke up not too long ago. I had a nice long nap.
I can believe that. So wait a second. What time did you originally wake up?
What time did I originally? I had a nice long sleep. Excuse me.
Okay, so this is not a nap. This was you just getting up for the first time today?
Yes, pretty much, yes.
So you got up at what time, 11?
Around 10:30-ish.
Because you got up at 10:30, and what's on the agenda today?
I'm going to go off for a walk, get some fresh air, look for some more jobs. Hopefully hear from Benny Honda today.
When did you apply?
I applied for Benny. I actually didn't. I applied a couple of weeks ago. I had an immediate in-person interview with them on a couple of Tuesdays ago, and I should hear from them.
Up?
Yes, I have. I called them, told them I'm interested, and they said I should hear from them this week. So that'd be great.
So this week we should, because you haven't called in a while, Charles, so you got to update the community here. So Benny Hanna, in-person interview, should hear this week. What else is potentially in play
Well,
for
I
you?
did apply to this really nice Italian restaurant that I went to last year for my grandmother's repast on Mulberry Street in Woodbridge Township. It's an Italian restaurant. It's very nice. It's a very nice Italian for like a dishwasher position. It's very nice, man. So,
Benny Hanna, is it true that you interviewed for the Volcano Onion supervisor role? That's from Tom Hayes.
No, that's not true. I applied for either a busser or a dishwasher.
What about hibachi chef? Chef Kevin wants to know.
No, Chef Kevin. I'm not. I don't have any experience in cooking things other than using an air fryer.
Amanda says the key is finding a job, Charles, not just looking.
Amanda, I know what I mean, and yes, I understand.
She also says you love naps.
I do love naps, but not 24/7.
Okay, so we have a couple dishwasher opportunities. Any other type of industry, or we're just sticking to the restaurant?
I have applied to warehouse positions to help move things around. That's about it. I'm trying to stay local too. But then again, I gotta explore my options. That's all it for now, Jake. Seriously, not trying to cut you off or anything.
I wanted to hear from you, Charles. Now
I know that. I want to talk with you too. I want to be on the show too for my fans.
We have other discussion points as well. You sent me this text message yesterday. John Burns.
Don't mind the feed. Don't mind the feed. I meant to take a picture of the stupid book. Well, it's not stupid, but you know what I mean.
Charles, can I give you some business advice? I think there's a lot of people that pay good money for Gorman feet picks, and you just gave this one away for free.
Oh, God, you sick bastard. No, I'm not doing no feet fetish picks. Get the hell out of here. Bye, Jake.
Well, you sent me this picture of your feet. Charles, no. I wanted you to talk about John Burns' legendary Man of Steel comic series from 1986. And now he's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Gorman. I also had other topics I wanted to address with Gorman. Like, how was his Knicks parade viewing experience? Although I didn't see Gorman. So did he even make it to the parade?
Hey, everyone. I just wanted to make this short video real quick to let you guys know that tomorrow I will be going to New York City to attend the New York Knicks ticker tape parade with my DSP and my behaviorist. I will try my best to take some photos. And then when I get back from the event, I will tell you all about my experience and my time there. And hopefully I have a good time. Peace out.
The problem is there was no update on Charles's experiences at the parade. So I tried to do some real hard-hitting journalism on the show and get the answer. Beast writes in, I'm hungry for a peanut butter sandwich. Beast, is that today's lunch?
Hey, good old-fashioned JIF? That ain't going to hurt. I'll take Jif over Skippy. You know why? Jif has more cream, more value, and more texture. Skippy has oily, what's this? This is slime. You know what you do with that? Garbage. Garbage. I wouldn't touch Skippy with a 5-foot pole. That's as bad as it is. And if you want good bread to go with it, you go with Giant. 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 You ever tried Giant? He's stunned. He looks stunned, like he just saw a ghost. Ooh. 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 Did you see a ghost, Jake, or did you forget? Because I'm not a ghost. I'm not a ghost. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh man, what are you doing, Beastburger? You're looking like a little ghost. You're like, oh my goodness. You're like, what are you reading right out of the Bible?
This is my stuff. Stuff that you do not know nothing about.
I know a lot about the Bible. I know a lot about the Bible. Give me Mark 10:45. Give me Mark 10:45, please. Give me that. I'll tell you that verse.
Let's run it down, clown man. I maimed you. I can tame you. I can sure as hell break you. I can see right through you. I can see right through you. See, I'm like a sharp
Rejected.
blade.
Sorry. All right, folks. I have received a possible clue into whether or not Charles Gorman made it to the Knicks championship parade or not from the Gorman YouTube channel. The latest.
Hey, everyone. As you guys can tell, I'm back in New Jersey after spending some time in the city, celebrating the New York Knicks championship run this year. I'm just waiting my time so before they begin seating for the advanced screening of the Death of Robin Hood movie. But if you want to know my thoughts on how it went in the city, I had a lot of fun, even though I didn't really get to do much because most of the roads were blocked and, booked with people. But I had a lot of fun. I walked about 4.5 miles around the city. We enjoyed the scenery. It was very nice. We even did the famous New York Knicks chants. Go New York, go New York, go, stuff like that. And we even got a chance to walk around Battery Park. It was nice. But yeah, I'm about to go see The Death of Robin Hood. The advanced screening of it that's starring Hugh Jackman. Hopefully it's a good movie, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
All right, we got our answer.
Later. You know what I mean. Peace.
Thank you, Charles. He was in the city, but he did not see the parade. If only Charles told me he was going to the parade, I would have made sure that we said he was a deli employee, Lou B style, and he would have got a great view. Boomtown nails it with this comment. World-class update. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a show. But I do need a closer. Beast, should you be today's closer?
What does this tell you right here? The spit.
Max, should you be today's closer?
I will be today's closer, and I can do the Wheel of Champions. So let's talk about some other
You guys can fight it out for who's today's closer.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Wheel of Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, on the wonderful Jake Asman Show, we have our prize today. Our prize is going to be the Wheel of Champions. Yeah. Let's spin it away. Let's take it away, Jake. Where? Oh, man.
Let's run the tail of the tape, moron. 7 back-to-back world titles that I got, and most of them are double-digit numbers. 4 single world titles that I own. 3 of the World Triple Crown belts that I own. And 2 of the biggest Grand Slams that I got. See, there's a difference between facts, fiction, and what's reality. You don't have the balls to go pound to pound with me against me. See, in ECW, you would not last 5. That's slop. Considering, let's look at it. I hit hard. You're slop. You're nothing but slop. And you know what slop looks like? Henry Godwin will tell you. Phineas will tell you. Even, oh my God, if you probably don't even, you've never even seen the WWF in your life, pal. I have. I own Coliseum Video.
Is Charles Gorman on the line? Because I give him advice on getting a job. I give him great advice,
Right.
I have great advice for Charles Gorman. I have the best advice of all time. Gorman.
When it comes to life, you don't have no balls. You're still a B-I-R-G-I-N virgin. Yeah, you're still that, pal. You're still that. You know why? Because let's look at it. Ground ball. Here's you. Ground ball. Scooped up there, Jeter. Throw to first base. Out. Just like that.
I do not like this loser behind me. I find it disgusting.
I'm a straight conservative Republican. I like women.
Joe Blewett joins me this afternoon. Excellent job by Beast and Mad Max. Thanks to everyone who tuned in today. Big thank you to Robby Sabo for coming on this show in his weekly Tuesday spot. Blewett's video this afternoon is going to be some A.D. Mitchell and Garrett Wilson film, among other topics we're going to break down. You guys are the best. Hopefully we get a Gorman foot update this afternoon as well. We'll track him down and see if Gorman is in fact taking his talents to feetfinder.com. Again, thanks to everyone who called, everyone who tuned in. Final day of June. Happy birthday to my mom. Shout out to everyone who's still watching Jet content. We're going to bridge the gap from here to training camp some way, somehow. I'll leave you guys with a blast from the past. Let's go down memory lane to a time where things on this show reached a different level of craziness. Sit back and enjoy. And as always, let's go Jets, baby. And they caught the robber of your place of work yet?
I choose not to talk about that.
Well, this is concerning, Scott. I don't know if I can make a commitment to broadcast from your place of work if there's a robber on the loose.
So you're going to be downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, whatever you want to do. At some point, I don't know, whatever.
Where are we going again, Scott?
Saratoga. You're going right at the bunker. Everyone can get down. It's cool.
And to be clear, you're not a suspect in the robberies right now.
I was on camera, and the camera was looking at the back of my head and saw my bun. He thought it was me. That's how that happened.
Okay.
I want everybody up here. English, Puerto Rican, that's why I'm here. And I know you want the mayor. I know you do. Should I say something or no?
Scott, to be honest, I really don't know what you're saying right now.
The mayor has lunch at the bunker a couple times a week. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Let's catch this robber first before I go.
All right. Okay. I'll do you want me? He was apprehended and released.
That's not good, Scott. Why was he released?
Jake, I don't know, man. Maybe a PR reason. Not have it in the papers, whatever.
A PR reason? He robbed your place of work. How was he just released?
It's not my call, dude. I have no clue.
Gunny, your thoughts on that call?
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
Only on this show, dude. Only on this show.
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Now that, folks, was a great video. Until then, we'll see you all at 4 Eastern live on the Jake Asman Show. And remember to have your pets sprayed or neutered. We'll see you. We'll see you later, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
Who was that lovely lady?
That was Carly.
Anyway.
Yep. Charles, I think we talked about you calling in and chewing on the air again. You couldn't wait till after your call to eat. You talk to me and then you eat.
Anyway,
this is a great angle for you, Charles. Even better angle. Where are you calling us from?
Burger King in Hope Lawn.
What did you get?
A BK Royal Crispy Sandwich with Swiss cheese on it. No tomato. About to finish up my fries. I'm about to have a slice of birthday cake.
Very nice. Charles, I think you should give all your takes from this angle moving forward.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.